Okay, this little video is about one of the provisions in the Safer Communities Act, law that was the law of the land today now, that was passed and signed by Joe Biden. One of those provisions in that act, in that law signing, was that 18, 19, and 20-year-olds now have to go through extra scrutiny to buy a rifle. Um, and it's one of those common sense gun laws that's really not that common sense. Okay, for one, do young people commit crimes? Yes, but they're by and far largely criminals already, gangbangers, etc. So it's not really going to apply to them. They don't buy their guns at a gun store. They steal them. They take them from their parents' house or what have you. Um, all it's going to really affect is a 19, 20-year old, 18-year-old even, who is now legally an adult and supposed to be protected by the same Constitution you and I are protected by because they are adults. You know, if they're old enough to go and fight for their country, then they should be allowed, I won't even say allowed, but recognized as being able to defend their home. And here's the more troublesome thing about this. It's one of those sneaky things that the Democrats do, that all politicians do. Okay, here 6 months from now or so, they're going to claim, oh, wow, this really worked. We don't have that many 18, 19, and 20-year-olds doing mass shootings. You didn't anyway. There wasn't that many people at that age range doing this stuff. And most of those crimes committed by youth is gangbangers in inner city. Focus on that. So they're going to say, okay, well, it's done so well. Why not apply this to everyone? From now on, everyone, before they buy a pistol or a rifle, has to get extra scrutiny when they buy a firearm. And they now have to jump through more hoops and hurdles to do so. I can see this happening. And we're all going to have waiting periods and our records pulled up when we were 14. You know, myself, I'm not worried about it. I didn't get into much trouble when I was a kid. Well, I didn't get caught. Back in those days, they caught you with alcohol or whatever. They took it from you. They poured it out in front of you. Things like that. They gave you breaks because you were a young kid. You were going to make mistakes. That's what kids do. Now, I'm not talking about like this 18-year-old that shot up the school in Uvalde. I'm not talking about that kind of those mistakes. But those little mistakes that are, not shooting up schools, that are, maybe driving with these friends and had alcohol in the car, nobody got hurt, maybe stole something at Walmart, a little something or other. Those things are going to come back to haunt you. You might have been 15 when that happened. You're a kid. Kids do things. So now that could be applied to all of us if they decide to go that route. Oh, hey, look, it worked so well on the youth. Let's do it to the adults too. Now everybody waits a minimum of 3 or 4 days, and you know, everybody gets their background check since they were 10. I mean, when does it stop? 10? 9? 8? I mean, when does it stop? Do they go back to your birth? What is this criteria that they're looking for? Is it something you threw a paper airplane in class and got in trouble? You know, one of the things in that provision, now don't laugh because that's not so far fetched. One of the things in that provision is that they not only check your records, but they're going to check with your local sheriff. What if your local sheriff just doesn't like you? What if you're in small town USA and your dad ran against the local sheriff? What if your family is an outspoken person of the people who hold that office, the sheriff or the mayor or something like that? You know, you could go and ask a sheriff, hey, Junior here, he's applied for a rifle permit. What do you think about that? What if that sheriff just doesn't like guns at all and doesn't think anyone should have guns? Why should he have any say-so in your constitutional rights? And if they're going to do it with the children, with the kids, 18, 19, and 20, I call them children, but I'm 55. They're children to me. Legally and constitutionally, they're adults. But if they're going to do it with them, what if it comes to the point to where they do it with everybody? Does your local sheriff like you? What if you go to meetings, city hall meetings, and you speak out? What if you voted for the wrong person? Like, share, and subscribe. These are things we need to be thinking about. And you got to remember, give them an inch and they'll take a foot. This will be no exception. Mark my words. Like, share, and subscribe. Be safe. Stay safe. Thank you.